But we're going to go to the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, Madison Square Garden. Either of you guys, how often did you guys play in Madison Square as players?
I never did.
Never? Tyler, did
No.
you ever get there?
Yeah, I did. I played there a few times, preseason NIT.
Yeah.
In college, we played there. Then obviously in the NBA a few times. But yeah, I really like the Garden. A lot of tradition, a lot of history. But if you've ever played there, you've got to walk up. It seems like a mountain just to get to the locker room. So pretty exhausted by the time you play the game. But no, I like playing the Garden. The fans are great. The place can get rocking. A lot of history. New York City.
I will say this, like the difference between the ACC tournament and the Big East tournament last year, where the ACC was in Brooklyn and the Big East was in MSG, like MSG, all those fans are like right on top of you. And not only that, their seats aren't as far apart as Barclays. So like there's a different feel in MSG. And I think the crowd is a little bit crazier at the Big East than at the ACC tournament.
Let's get into it. Big East. How do we feel about this field? Who do we like to come out of it? We'll start with Terrence.
You know what? I don't think there's anybody on the first day that's going to make a surprise run. Seton Hall might have a good game against Xavier, but I think Xavier is going to end up taking that one. The game I'm really intrigued by is this UConn Providence game. I mean, that 4-5 matchup is going to be an electric factory, and I will be up there for that game. So I'm pretty excited about what's to come there. There's a lot of hatred between those two fan bases. I think they're only a couple hours apart driving wise. Providence with Bryce Hopkins, they haven't played their best ball out as of late, but the pieces are still there. I wonder defensively what has to click for them to be better. They just, over the last two games, they haven't been very good. They need to kind of pick up that edge into the floor. And then with the athletes they have, you know, they can make things happen in transition if they play off their defense. They just haven't done it the past two games. And then UConn has to play bully ball. You know, they're huge across the front line. Andre Jackson's good. Jordan Hawkins is starting to play well. UConn has found that magic a little bit. That was, you know, not floundering is the right word. You know what? Yes, it is. That is the right word. Floundering at the end of January. They're starting to find their rhythm once again. And we've talked about when's your best time to hit a lull. In my mind, middle of January to end of January, if you hit a 5-game lull or something in that part, it expedites your learning curve a little bit, like Tyler said, talking about the early part of the conference tournament. In my mind, for a contender, which coming into the season, we all thought Connecticut was, like, to hit that lull in January, at the end of January, now they're starting to play better. The confidence is back. Shots are starting to fall. Effort plays are being made. They found out what makes them good. Now they've gotten back to that. I think UConn can make it all the way to the championship game and potentially win it.
I hate that I have to agree with you. I think I really like UConn. I think Jordan Hawkins is playing unbelievable right now. I do like Sanogo. I think he's a unit down low. They did hit a lull, but I think they're coming on. I also like Creighton as well. I had some injuries and they don't have a lot of depth, but I like both of those teams. But yeah, UConn would be my pick to win the Big East. And also, just a quick note, the ACC tournament should never be in New York City. It just fits ever. It was so dumb to put it there. And also the Big East, I mean, that's meant for New York City prime time. So yeah, I like that. But UConn would be my pick for sure.
Yeah, real quick, like, cause I'm a guy that, like, I want to throw some darts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're out here trying to, like, make it happen. You know, we're trying to make a little bread in March. I'm with you on Creighton. We know how different their splits are when Kalkbrenner's on the floor. We know how good they are defensively. Their defensive efficiency is the 10th best in college basketball. And look, the reason for that is Kalkbrenner. Between Kaluma and Kalkbrenner and some of the other guys they have, you know, Shireman. Like, I think they got some pieces to not just make a run in the Big East tournament, but the whole thing. Like, they're dangerous if they wind up on that, 5, 6, 7 line. Like, they could be a lower seed that to me makes a real legit run.
Well, Kalkbrenner's so good defensively, it changes everything they do. I mean, you want to talk about a defensive centerpiece. The dude doesn't foul either, which is unbelievable. The guy is able to stay on the floor the entire game. He's one of the if he's not the highest in college basketball field goal percentage, I don't have that right in front of me. He's in the top 10. I mean, so efficient, kind of a centerpiece. He can roll. He can facilitate offense from the perimeter. He's so good, but you got to have somebody create shots. Tyler, you could do that. You get you on that Carolina break up around the elbow. You do a little shot fake. You ram your shoulder into him, not charge. It was a charge, not charge. But it was, you got to have somebody be able to create shots, right? I think that's the big thing. And I think Arthur Kaluma can do that. Baylor Shireman has kind of figured out how to play with the rest of the guys. Trey Alexander can do that. Elite defender,
Absolutely.
like not deep, very good. Depth matters. I think depth is what got Carolina in the championship game last year, because I think they really got tired. They got hurt, but I think some of those injuries were the result of being tired. That's kind of what scares me with Creighton when it comes to an NCAA tournament run. When it comes to the Big East tournament, I mean, very, very good. There's the top 5 teams in that league. Top 4 teams in that league could all win it. I think Providence is kind of iffy. I think they can win a game, but the other top 4, I mean, every one of them can win it.
I like Creighton, by the way. They were picked, I think, preseason top 5. They went through some injuries. I didn't really have it around. They're well coached. So I like Creighton. The depth is an issue, like Tio said.
Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.